So I'm with Kent Smith. He's part of the group that they're putting on the gathering at Moon Lake. I call it the Treasure Hunters Rendezvous. But Kent's a wealth of knowledge, especially in that area where we're having this gathering. And so tell me a great story about the area where we're going to be holding this event. Kent, tell me a story.
All right, the event's going to be in Altamont, and not far from there is a very, very small town called Bluebell, unincorporated. And I'm going to share with you a story that was given to me years ago by my scoutmaster when I was a Boy Scout. And he told it to me a couple of times. He's been dead for years now, but when he was a young man, he was living. His family was living with his grandmother, and that was in Bluebell. And so one of the last Ute Indian chiefs was buried real close to Bluebell, and they knew where that was at. And so he decided that he was going to go to where this burial was with this Indian chief, which he did. And he came back to the house. He was like 12 years old or something at the time. And the Indian chief was buried with his ceremonial clothing on, which is typically the case. And his ceremonial clothing, he had a vest that he was wearing that was made out of hundreds of Spanish gold coins from when the Spanish were in the area. So he went to the burial, got all these gold coins and brought them home and showed them to his grandmother and his parents. And the grandmother was livid, not just because he'd been taking burial objects and that, but the story was that the chief had died of something like bubonic plague or something along that line. Of course, back in those days, they could have called it consumption or whatever, but some type of a terrible disease supposedly that the chief had died from, and she was sure that the family would all get this disease from him bringing those coins home. And so she took all the coins away from him and threw them in the fireplace. And it gave him a good scolding in that. And he says it wasn't until many years later, he was living in Vernal, and which again is maybe 60 miles from where we're going to be having this gathering, but living in Vernal with his wife and family and that. And he decided that he was going to go back to his grandmother's homestead in Bluebell and get these gold coins. So he went back to the old homestead site, which was some of the brick chimney was left and some of the stone foundation was left, and that was pretty much it. But he went back and he went to the fireplace and that to find these gold coins, and they were all gone. Somebody else had, whether they were metal detecting or whatever they were doing, somebody else had gone through it apparently and found the gold coins and had taken them all. But that's another good treasure story right there in Bluebell. There was hundreds of gold coins in Grandma's fireplace till somebody found that and took it.
With that said, Kent, thank you. That's a wrap.